Betty bought a bit of butter, but she said, "This butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter." So she bought some better butter, better than her bitter butter, and she put it in her batter, and it made her batter better.
Hi there everyone and welcome back to Rosy Learning. My name is Rosy and I teach English in Poland. If you haven't yet, check me out on Facebook and Instagram, and of course subscribe here on YouTube. Today I wanted to do a video about pronunciation because it's a topic that isn't very often discussed here in Poland. People usually just seem to focus on grammar, vocabulary, whereas pronunciation seems to be something that is overlooked. We're going to start with British pronunciation, and I know that that may be a little bit strange, seeing as I was born in Canada, so my accent is actually closer to American. So bear in mind that my accent is not naturally British. But I think I can still help for you to get that beautiful British accent that you have been dreaming about. More specifically, I'm going to focus in this video on the way British people pronounce R's. Interestingly enough, there are 3 things that they do, and they might surprise you. So stick with me. Okay, number 1. The very first thing you need to know about British pronunciation of R is that sometimes, even though you write the letter R, British people won't actually pronounce it. I usually like my students to do some thinking. Your task is to try to figure out when the R is not pronounced. Okay, so here come the examples. Number 1, car, party, there, world, girl, author, comfortable, for, October, picture, circus, more, passport, and passenger. So what do you think? What do all these words have in common? There's 2 things that you should notice. Okay, so these words fall into 2 categories. One is that the R in certain words is word final, which means it's at the end of a word. For example, car, there, author. The other one is that the R is in front of a consonant. For example, world, girl, comfortable. Okay, so if the R is at the end of a word or if it's before a consonant, it's not going to be pronounced. And I was explaining this rule to 4th graders once at school, and I wrote down a list of words where British people don't pronounce the R's, and one of the examples I wrote down was shirt, and I didn't really think too much when I crossed out the R in shirt, as well as in the other examples, and one of the students was like, but teacher, that's not a very nice word. I'm like, oh no, this is a prestigious school. What am I teaching them? But it is important for you to actually know that shirt and the other word, let me say it, shit, is actually pronounced completely different. Listen to the difference, okay? So the first one is shirt, and the second one is shit. So the vowel is actually a little bit different, and what's important, it's longer in the word shirt. So British people like to compensate for the fact that they don't say the R by prolonging the vowel so it's longer. So instead of just saying shirt like you would in American, they're going to make it a very long shirt. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2 is, oh, sorry. Actually, I came up with this kind of sentence, very long sentence, that you can practice to say with this British accent It doesn't make much sense. I'm sorry. But you get to use lots of these words. So the sentence is as follows. There doesn't exist a girl in the world who wouldn't go to a party in a more comfortable car, though she wouldn't take pictures at a circus in October were she a passenger. That's my sentence. I don't know how I came up with that. It doesn't make much sense, as I said before, but you can try and practice it at home. Okay, so number 2 is pronunciation of R for linking, and this is called linking R. So this is the case where a word ends with this R sound, which, as you know from the previous example, is not pronounced if it's at the end of a word and nothing follows. But if something follows and that word that follows begins with a vowel, then you do pronounce it because of linking. So, for example, you're not going to say for, you're going to say for in British. But if the word that follows is, for example, eggs, and eggs starts with E, which is a vowel, then you're going to say the R, okay? And you're going to say 4 eggs, right? 4 eggs. Same thing with, for example, answer. Normally, you would just say answer, okay? But if what follows is a question, so we have a, which is a vowel, then you're going to say the R. Answer a question, okay? Other examples would be, for example, score a goal, or 4.5. 4.5. Never again. Where are you? Etc. And now if we were to go back to our little sentence that I came up with, but now let's say this in a way that would that will help us practice the linking. So it's the same sentence, but a little bit tweaked. So let's go. There isn't a girl in the world who wouldn't go to a party in a more comfortable car, and she wouldn't take pictures at a circus in October unless she were a passenger. Okay, that's a little bit hard, but you can practice that. Last one, number 3. Okay, this one is the craziest one ever, and I have no idea where this comes from. It doesn't make any sense. So Americans don't do this at all. Okay, same thing with the first one, but British people apparently feel that this is more comfortable. So this is called intrusive R. So in words that actually don't even have the R in them, they add them. So let me give you a few examples and maybe you'll try to guess why or what the rule is. Okay, so for example, an American would say media event or media attention. A British person would say media event and media attention. Americans would say again Africa and Asia. But a British person would say Africa and Asia. Okay, for example, even within a word, they would not say drawing. British people would say drawing. Drawing. Okay, I'm drawing a picture. Or the idea of it. Or my favorite example, I saw it. I saw it. I saw the video. I saw it. Okay? And law and order. So those are my examples. Now, maybe you noticed that all of these examples, it's between vowels, okay? The R is inserted after a schwa sound, which is like in Africa or media, and after this kind of sound, law, or I saw and awe. And I especially love these examples where we have law and order. So the R is actually pronounced where there is no R. And the other R's are ignored, which makes no sense whatsoever. And that's why the American accent is better. I'm joking, of course, but If you found this interesting, I definitely encourage you to subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be creating more videos like this. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And thank you so much for liking this video. Have a great day and see you next time. Bye. And funny story actually with Asia. I have a cousin whose name is Asha, you know, like from Joanna, and she lives in Canada, and we were once celebrating her birthday many years ago, and it was at Chuck E. Cheese, and her birthday cake arrived, and the staff at Chuck E. Cheese brought it over singing, "Happy birthday, dear Asia, happy birthday to you." Okay, that's just whatever. Moving on!